this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio
It's
station.
Love Jones. It's Love Jones. Check us out as we combine our hit music with a love story. Live with Candy. It's Love Jones.
Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, Refugee Camp presents
For all relationships, for regrets, for disagreements, for breaking up and making up, for all those out there jonesing for love. It's Love Jones right here, right now on Global 99.5. Good morning and welcome to the very best mix of R&B music, home of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. We're Global 99.5. It's a brand new edition this fantastic Thursday. And welcome, Brother D. What's going on?
Everything good, everything blessed.
I know this is a Thursday. You don't usually be in the situation in the building. It's be out of play. On these tea days, you don't be nowhere to be found. But that's a different topic we will cover a little bit later. Before we get into our show today, that I have a feeling is going to prove to be quite interesting as per usual. Let's give the numbers. It's 812-1787, text and WhatsApp, as well as 431-8497, as well as you can call in live in studios at 326-0272 or 1. You can go on our website, Global 99.5 as FM, of course, and you can watch us live on Facebook. And to the latter, the video will also be put on Love Jones's page that you can watch a little bit later and comment on as well. So today is Pet Peeve Thursday. We try to do it at least once a week because it seems as if a lot of our listeners and those that write in, it's not in particularly a letter or something of that sort that they want to share. It's just particular things that are frustrating to them when it comes to relationships, marriages, even if it's not in particularly theirs, it's just things that they've experienced, watched, noticed, whether it's in pop culture, their own personal thing within our nation, or otherwise that they have issue to, that they feel like if these things were rectified, there could be, a lot better relationships that we can have going on. Now, I had a lot of other ones that I wanted to cover, but interestingly enough, the Solid Nye, we were having a conversation prior to, he always is laugh when I call him that. We were having a bit of a conversation before we went on air, and I found the basis to the argument very interesting, and I'm hoping that we could probably get into that and see where we could go from that. I'm sure you'll enjoy it because, you'll always be on Team MAN. For sure.
All day, every day.
All right, so we were talking about the Lala and Carmelo Anthony situation.
Fine, honest, baby.
What? Anyhow, I didn't even get the story out. You done defending. You got the pom-poms done out. My goodness, you done at the end of the field throwing up signs for your buddy.
What the fella say?
Okay, first of all, for those that aren't aware of what the story supposedly, allegedly, is, right?
Allegedly.
According to the reports that have come in, Lala and Carmelo Anthony have separated and seeking divorce at this point because he has, once again, allegedly gotten a stripper, quote unquote, an exotic dancer,
she's
pregnant.
She's a stripper.
Yeah, for those, that identify with the other terminology, I just decided to put that out there for them. So in accordance to that, she's ready to leave the marriage. How long they been together? Like 7 years, I think. But they were dealing from, she was like doing like the VJ stuff on MTV and whatever, so this before he hit it really big in his basketball career. I think they were always dealing together. They have a child together.
Only one?
I think they have a son together.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he has other children, but I'm pretty certain I know that they have one together. He may have a daughter or something like that, perhaps previously, but I know that they have the one together. Not too long ago, because she had a reality show as well. Lala's Full Court Life or something like that, and it showed their relationship, the traveling, a lot of the different stuff, and they moved to New York in order for her to pursue, her little acting and the little things. Oh, okay, so let me see the solid, give me a little something. Carmela Anthony, alleged side chick, is not a New York stripper, and she has a master's degree and is in social work. She's due in July.
See the picture?
Yeah. He like the Puerto Rican looking girls, with the pretty hair and thing. That's his kind of thing. That's what he likes,
Okay, so you got
He have a particular type.
So you have the girls who you dating this one who actually have good hair for real.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. They're not Becky with the good hair, but they're like Carmen and Rosana with the good hair. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what they like.
Sense.
Maybe it's because his name is Carmelo. You think he's one of the Puerto Ricans. You think he's Latin.
It's working.
It's working. Something's going on. I don't know. I think it have a little bit to do with the money, but who's saying, right?
Hey.
All right, so that's what it is. So it's a couple of things that has brought issue with this situation. People are asking, is it the derogatory things that come along with what it means to be a stripper or what it means to be an exotic dancer? If it were just an average, see, like how they just defended it, right? They said, oh, she's not a New York stripper. She has a degree and she's into social work. Is that supposed to make it better? It's like,
I think it doesn't make the situation better.
It wasn't, he went with an educated woman. It wasn't about stripping.
Yeah, it's not he's Chris Brown who going around having training with strippers. But what it is I think.
But a lot of these women that strip, a lot of them will tell you they do it to get through school. They do it to pay their way.
How long you in school for? You've been stripping for like 25 years. How long you been in school for?
Depending on if it's a bachelor, you're trying to do the associate, you're trying to get
you got a bill of school aid.
You got plenty. You got plenty cake to like more than 10 grand sometimes.
But I asking you trying to bill a school? If you've been stripping for 20 years, you sit down, but you're trying to put yourself to school?
No, I was waiting to meet you.
Oh, okay.
You see how that works? Now in July, I come off the pole.
And do what?
This plan. This plan now, because now you've got to pay for my apartment or dwelling. I can guarantee
so what you going to school for?
Going to happen.
You going to school to get a degree to do what?
But I didn't know I was going to get another degree in basketballism.
Oh,
you get that? Basketballery?
Okay, I get it.
Don't try to pronounce it.
No,
but you got it. So his issue was Nate was saying, okay, what he finds interesting in the world at large is when it comes to better, for worse, or whatever, everybody's understanding of that until there's someone that gets pregnant or there is this issue to infidelity that comes out into the public, then that for worse goes under the rug. As well as he's saying that people tend to be more understanding or open to the women's side of things when it comes to cheating or infidelity. When it comes to men, they're ready to berate them. They're ready to put the pitchfork in them. They're ready to burn them at the stake.
Yeah, he right.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know if I can agree with that.
Candy,
come on, if a woman is cheating, if Lala she's had her own share of scandals.
If Lala cheated, they just say, "Oh, man, but he should work with her because they have a family, and they have a child together."
My point on this is when a woman cheats, it's the man's fault for driving her to cheat. But when a man cheats,
he's just a dog.
He just is a dog. Dirty dog.
Is there some truth to that argument?
No. If you
cheat,
you
a woman, and when last were you driven to cheat?
If you cheat, that's Lord, thank you, Jesus.
But men use that all the time. Why did you cheat? Either they don't have an argument, or you will hear things like, I wasn't getting attention. She wasn't taking care of me. Her friends are more important. She wasn't treating me with the respect that I deserve. There, no matter who cheats, there's always some kind of quote unquote logistical excuse that everybody has.
Okay, and that's fine. That doesn't change the fact that you still cheat. You're a hooker.
But the man
So what do
cheating
you-
isn't justified by those reasons.
That's what he's saying. He's saying that when a woman cheats, she can say, "Oh, my husband was neglecting me emotionally, and he wasn't checking for me sexually,
It's just-
and all of these
There's also a
things."
justification that comes with men.
No, we
Yeah.
don't get justified
How
for
many
nothing.
times have you heard, men can do what they can do. They can't
That's
have
not
they self.
justification.
Are you right? I agree with you. It's definitely not. But how many times have you heard it? That men, listen, I sat in one time and it was these, educated brothers, they talking and here goes, dude, will you know in the motherland, you were never really intended to have just one.
You're not.
Our African brothers have 2 and 3 wives in the village and this and that.
hold on.
You see that right over there.
Hold on.
And so, if we're keeping to our African roots, how can a man really expect to really sign on to or subscribe to what monogamy is when it was not the initial intent? Are you serious?
Hold on. I could say something to him. I hope he's listening. You right. You 100%. Hold on.
Boy,
Calm
bye.
down. I got this. He is 100% right. In Africa, they do that.
Yeah, but we ain't living there.
Thank you. So if that's what you want to do, buddy, then you need to jump on the plane and go to Africa.
We ain't living there.
At the end of the day, the laws of the Bahamas state that you are only entitled to one wife. The laws of Africa state something else.
Well, let's say it's not your wife. Whatever happens
No.
to the morality of
if you are
commitment.
married and you go outside that commitment, the laws of the Bahamas then state that your wife get everything because you wanted to be a hooker. That's it. In Africa, it's normal for them to have wives and concubines. That's their culture. So you can't talk about ostentation. If you want to do that, then you go to Africa
No,
and
but I'm
go
saying-
to Zumbala and get a couple of them.
What I find interesting is we don't want to adopt the fact that if you steal there too, they chop off fingers and hands.
No, they chop off your hand.
Yeah, but at the same token, nobody wants to adopt that part of it. We're a culture that always like to pick and take little pieces from other things
suiting to us, or
culturally
what we wanna
when
do.
it's suiting for us and things that we want to do. Then all of a sudden, our roots, the motherland. Shut up. Anybody
Tell him
running
who-
around here with African nips out and have on the last loincloth? No.
Tell them go to Africa.
Right? Because if that's something that you want to subscribe to and that's what it is,
Fighting lions,
then
son.
live your entire life subscribing to what the Afrocentric culture is.
Mm-hmm.
And furthermore, every tribe is different as well.
Correct.
Some tribes are definitely indulging in monogamy and others are not.
No, I know
So
that. I'm gonna try about this. I don't from what I saw on National Geographic, but none of them tribes subscribe to
I
no
can show you.
monogamy.
I can show you one because
So the
at
thing is,
some point I was very interested in it.
The thing is, a lot of let's go to the African culture. A lot of that, what you would have to go through to become a man is completely.
Yeah, plenty people run.
on a-
They would never.
they would
be
never
able to
make
be
it.
Passing.
They wouldn't. Like I saw one where you had to literally get your entire back sliced from neck to waistline.
Yeah, that's and then they put this thing that is ink-like
Right.
in the open wounds.
Yes, and that has and you have to sit there and endure that.
And
if
it has to
you
heal
stop,
in a keloid way.
yeah, and if you stop at any point, you are not considered a man. Point blank. I watched it, and I think this 10-year-old or 11-year-old boy went through that process, and he was dubbed a man in the village. He was allowed to have a wife. He was allowed to have his own hut. They built this for him because he attained the
Passed
status
the
of
test.
man. But you have men who are 30 some odd years and they couldn't get through it. So a lot of our culture, a lot of the men, quote unquote, we go to Africa talking that man, still come right back to the NASA on the first flight.
They have a culture of circumcising women, too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
That's what I said. There is a lot of things that we want to adopt in different cultures when
I
it's
don't-
well suited to us.
I don't think it's adopting. I think it's trying to understand the psychology
He
in
trying
us.
to understand that. Me just trying to use it to be a hustle.
No, I think if genetically we could grasp from past days, this may give some reasoning as to why we may have this hunger for polygamy.
I don't defer from that, but I think it's a vast difference between understanding something to a different culture, whether it's adverse to yours or not. I think it's a difference between understanding and trying to delve in it and live it.
And see, the difference with there too is with most of the African cultures, they don't subscribe to Christianity.
Well, that as well,
Then-
and we was brought in and made Christians.
Well, that's true too. But what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with you wanting to pursue something outside of what is socially the norm. But in acceptance to that and saying that I wear this label as now I'm going back to my roots as an African man, and that means the dispelling of monogamy. That means the dispelling of what we see Christianity as. When you're dispelling all of these things, just make sure in dispelling
everything,
and you dispel all of the things and you adopt the things that you're saying that you are wanting to subscribe to.
You know how to. He may be making a neo-African Bahamian culture.
No. He ain't making a neo-African then.
But stand, what I'm saying is, but if that's what it is, stand in that. Don't bring that to me after you've been caught doing something, and then all of a sudden now this is your justification for it. And that's all I'm saying. I think it's your life, and you can pursue the things that you want, absolutely. And no one says because you live in the Bahamas you only have to adhere to the things that are here. But I'm just saying, don't use it as an excuse, because I think it's quite disrespectful, to pick up something to if you look at the things that people have gone through. You understand what I'm saying? To make progressive movements from the things that we're talking about, what used to hold us bound to slavery, for instance. And you hear people using that as a justification for hate and other things. So, and that's what I mean in comparison to, but as it pertains to women, I can agree a lot of the times men take a lot more flack when it comes to infidelity. At the same token, I think when women cheat, it's almost like a scarlet letter. Come on, let's be honest with it.
Before it probably was. Nowadays it's not.
Okay, you hear a tale of a pastor. I mean, I don't ever like to go there, but if you hear a tale of a pastor and he stepped out on his wife, obviously it's awful, and he's seen as a man of God and all of these other things like that. Now you hear a tale of a pastor's wife creeping out. That can bring fire, brimstone, hell, and all these other things like that down, simply because regardless of what, the truth of the matter is, I think that women are held to a different esteem.
Women are held to a different esteem because, like, you alluded to the fact of, people would say, oh, that's in a man's nature. So women are held to a different esteem because society itself expects women to be a certain way when it comes to relationships and everything else, because, and you don't like to say it, but society looks at it, okay, because a woman is so much more emotional than a man, because she is more in tune with those things should keep her harnessed, so to speak. So society expects that a woman, and then women even brought up, oh, you have to be faithful, you have to do this, you have to do that, whereas men are brought up, oh, you sow your wild oats and all these other foolishness. But why? But at the end of the day, my thing is, if the pastor cheats and if his wife cheats, both of them to me in the same bracket, because buddy, both of y'all are holding that same mantle, which is that position of a pastor.
I agree with it, but to me, like I said, we tend to put things in terms relative to the titles that people carry. At the end of the day, it don't matter if you're an average Joe or a pastor. If you've committed to marriage and you've gone before God and you've made that, then you have an allegiance to that, not just for yourself, but in partnership with God. If you're saying that you believe in these things on a spiritual aspect, and that was the point of that. Now, his thing was men are led by the smaller head.
Most of them. Yeah.
Women, if they cheat, it is more so. Statistics show that there's an emotional tie to a man or someone that they cheat with. It's not necessarily just a physical relationship that they're pursuit of. I think that used to be the case, but I think things are definitely changing when it comes to that. I think women are having more of an ownership as to their needs and wants on a sexual basis. And a lot of times it has a lot less to do with love and the things that they are lacking on an emotional level. And sometimes it is just the fulfillment of those things sexually. Yeah, or nay?
Yeah.
So there goes that. At the end of the day, it seems to be a trend with these exotic dancers, these strippers, this, that.
On that, I think what it is with a lot of the times with the strippers is, remember we spoke about the fantasy versus reality.
Yeah.
Strippers provide the fantasy. They in the high heels, net stockings, doing the twerking and jump and bopping and all the other stuff. And a lot of the wives home with they bonnet on their head, they slip up to their breasts. They dragging the fuzzy slippers with the hard crusty heel, and they ain't checking because I do these children and I cooking this food.
Exactly. I mean, I don't.
I hear what you said, but that's what it is like. It's like, boy, put on some sexy underwear or something.
I get it,
Wake
but
up,
you want me to be rumping around
Yes.
with lace and heels
Yes.
on. But then this 409 though, this Easy Off that I use in this cleaning, she could slide up and down and do all the things that she want to do because that's what she doing. I working, I taking care of your children. I got a household like trying to manage and all these other things like that. What?
Life rough.
Maybe if you would get out the strip club and be home and help me with a couple little things, I could maybe do other things.
No,
Yay?
no.
What you mean, no?
When I didn't work, I come home my day with the kids. I help with the kids sometimes. Probably help the homework, try to do it.
So while you're busy doing all that, where do you find time to go in the strip club though? For instance, Kirk Frost.
Tanya's baby. I saw that. I saw that
I
online.
don't care
That's
if it was
not
his
baby.
whether it's his baby or
That's
not.
not
The
his.
fact of the matter
That's
is, it
not-
wouldn't have been able to be called into
That's-
question had
that's-
he not been sleeping with her.
That's not it.
Rashida out working, she doing the boss
Kirk
chick
is work
thing.
too?
Work what on your nerves?
No, Kirk does work as well. Kirk is
As
all.
her manager, as everything that, as far as I know, that he works with is tied into her label and the things that she's done. They've built together, but a lot of it came from the root of her doing. And you have the nerve talking about when he go to touch her, she turn her back. So you throw on your shoes and you run down to the nearest strip club.
If you
Man, listen,
hold
thanks
on.
for calling Love Jones. This is
Listen.
Global 99.5
Yo,
Pet Beef Day.
Look here. Let me call in and help my girl out. Let me come to my girl defense.
People
See
off
what
with
was
their
you talking this morning, Mike?
What does?
Huh?
I got
You
to
find
be
the time you go in the strip club, the time you find to go in the strip club,
Mike,
put some time in with your wife. You want that same stuff with the lacy stuff on and all that thing like that? Go to the lingerie store or whatever and buy her something and let her put it on.
Exactly. But she ain't gonna wear it.
What you mean she ain't gonna wear it?
Because she gonna have an attitude. I'm supposed to be wearing lace, and I cooking and cleaning and taking care of these children,
so guess what?
and you
So
want me
guess
to wear
what?
lace?
So guess what? Obviously, she's frustrated in some areas, so you still buy it.
Buddy.
And then when she ready to do it on her time,
What?
she's ready to do it on her time. Yeah.
No, brother. Okay,
It
thank
ain't
you for
all about
calling.
us,
Bye.
It ain't all about us, you know.
So
We need to, no, seriously, right, man? We really need to stop that foolishness thinking it's all about us.
brother, hold on.
Because when you when you look here, no,
Hold on, my bitch,
when you look at really how some of these women, these single women have to deal with children and things like that, right? That's a lot of pressure on some of these women, you know.
Pat, okay, now you lived with your kids before. So did I. So I know that type of stress. I was a police officer. I would come home from work at 12 o'clock midnight. I get off at 12, so I don't reach home till 12:30, almost 1 o'clock.
Right.
And I would get up, take my son out of the room, and he was a baby at the time. And I would change him, feed him, burp him, and put him to sleep. And me sometimes, a lot of time, me and him fell asleep in the front room watching TV or whatever the case is. I would then get up the following morning and do the whatever whilst his mom is asleep. So I know what that is. Get home from work at 8 o'clock and try to get home quickly so I could try to get him dressed for school and take him to school myself, just because she does it all the time. And I want that bond with him. But at the end of the day, does that mean that because you are dealing with the kids all day, that you're supposed to neglect me?
No, but what it does mean is there must be some kind of balance and understanding. And I'm not saying that there aren't things that are due to you as a man, as a husband, as a provider. Obviously, there are things that are due to you, but as your wife and your mate, as your helpmate, there are things that are due to me as well. And all I'm saying is the time that you take to ball in the strip club, the time that you take on these social media sites, go looking for whatever it is that you're seeking, that's the time that you can either decide, okay, let me see how I can work on this situation and tell her the things that frustrate me to see if we can bring change, or if not, we can make a decision as a couple that this no longer works for us, and then you can have all of your time to do as you please. People tend to bail out before they've done their work.
People tend to, a lot of times now,
Not only that, you sleeping with, I don't care if it's a stripper or a lawyer, you're doing so unprotected. That's a whole other kettle of fish.
Yeah.
And you bringing whatever it is back to your home.
I agree with that. That is where there is, and I agree that you shouldn't cheat in general. I agree with that.
But D, about that whole sowing your Roy, your wild oats and stuff like that, right? You sow what? Oats, corn, rice, what else?
But yeah, I know grits, meal.
Whatever could sow.
Right. But that's, like I say, realistically, that's what they bring up. A lot of men teaching them. Oh, you sow your wild oats before you get.
And let the women them sow their own and they is everything but a child of God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, for sure.
Agreed. There's a double standard.
Yeah.
There's a double
Yeah,
standard.
really.
All right, then we can link.
Yeah,
Listen,
she's
see,
the
Alright.
field.
this one, none talking about how woman could sew. You see, this is the same thing. Well, we can sew a ham then. I know, but some could do. But there's a double standard, and it's so interesting how far we go in thoughts of changing roles and role reversals and all of these different things you hear about. But at the end of the day, mentalities seem to remain the
Yeah.
same when it comes to certain core things. And that's in a general. Now, whether that's in our nation or globally, the fact of the matter is it still is what it is.
I agree with you, right? But my thing is, I still agree with Nate though. Like a lot of times, people will allow a woman. They'll make excuses to the woman and say, okay, well, she cheated because he did something.
Same thing if you watch Snapped.
Yeah, he did something. He didn't do something, or he didn't. He was abusive, or he mistreated her. It's like, boy, if you feel that salty about the relationship, just leave.
What I find interesting about that is men will always be the first people to tell you that women are so emotional and they're driven by those emotions, right? But when the emotions are used to not benefit you, or when it comes to no, you know exactly where I'm going with that, right? Women are emotional creatures. Women are driven by their emotions, and if that same emotion is what is given as the excuse for adultery or stepping outside of it, then it's no longer justified. But in anything else, y'all just let y'all emotions run y'all right up. So I mean, you want to use it for one thing, and then you want to. It's an issue for the other.
It's not an issue. What I'm saying is this. People use the emotion thing as a crutch. If you as a woman you
glad
feel
you said it.
if you as a woman you feel emotionally deprived or whatever in the relationship, and you're a person who you can go there and cheat, like one of the Medea plays, the guy was a good husband, but he was a workaholic. He worked hard, but he provided, he loved her, he respected her. And she said she cheated on him because she missed him. So when she was sleeping with the man, the only thing she could think about was him. And he was like, you was thinking about me the whole time you was sleeping with this dude. She's like, yeah. He said, well, did you think about me enough to get up?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. It's women even use the emotional thing as a crutch. Oh, you deprive me emotionally, and it's not that I don't want to be with you, but then the whole time I was with him, you was on my mind. I was on your mind, and he was.
That's fine. And men also will say, let me tell you what y'all use as a crutch. And I'm so tired of hearing this argument, but it was my little head. Y'all stop that BS. Come on.
It's scientifically proven that 80%.
Here, but scientifically,
It's scientifically proven that you
on the
lose
side of your Abdullah Emblagata. That's what I scientifically so.
Honestly,
that's what I'll
it's
do.
scientifically proven that you lose 80% of logical reasoning at that time.
Well, don't put yourself in
a
situations where you will have those kinds of things happen. I think that's the grandest load of BS ever. And I'm so tired of it. Men keep saying that they're not being respected or treated as something outside of the norm, as to say a man is a dog and he is not an intellectual creature able to make decisions outside of who he is as a sexual being.
Correct.
Either you want that respect, and with that respect comes responsibility. Either you want it, or you can just say, I was made a bow wow, I'm a dog, and I can do as dogs do. Which way do you want it?
Okay, how do you want it? That's Tupac and
yeah, no, I thought but I thought it would be ill-gotten at the time to sing that, so I didn't want to go there.
My thing is this though. Let's use the men that actually subscribe to the respecting and pulling themselves back as a sexual being and all the rest of it. Those men are cheated on by their women, by men who have yes. You could look at me through the side, your glasses, with your brow curve, and all the rest of it. No, I'm telling you. Listen to me. I remember the situation. I was a police officer. I remember the situation where this guy built his wife a nice house. They had kids. Yes. He came home.
Okay.
Hold on.
Before you say that, I'm just gonna put it out there, and I don't want to be disrespectful, and I know I can take lashing for this. Let me say it to you like this, right? We've talked about that before. Now, some may say, and I trying to figure a different word, but you've heard the statement, you cannot turn
A hoe into a
a
housewife.
hoe into a housewife, right? We often talk about getting into situations and relationships with people that you already know their intent, you already know the character, you already know.
We also talk about people hiding themselves for years until they achieve
Absolutely.
what
No,
they want.
but in this case, you already know what it is. You already
Not all the
know
time.
what it. I said in
Oh,
this
in this
case.
case, huh?
In this case, you already know what it is. Just as women have to be held at a great level of responsibility if you get with a man and he has cheated on you, or he has had whatever his issue may be that you see as an issue. He has always had that issue through your process of dating. He had the issue after you decided to continue dating and get into now a relationship with him. He still had that issue throughout your relationship process. And you know what your bright idea was? I'll marry him. And when we say I do, poof, it's just going to go away. Really? So now when you now have the issue that you had during dating now, you say, okay, that was his fault. Shame on you the one time. Now through relationship, he still got the issue. Okay, let's just say shame on him because he done commit to you, supposedly. Now you get married. Who you gonna hold accountable for it now? And the issue still is there and it's still prevalent within your relationship. You have to have accountability for that.
Okay, but I agree with you. But I'm saying in this incident, I don't think the man knew. Because if we like, I have a friend of mine, him and his girlfriend was together for more than 20 years. They've been married straight out of high school, and I'll be celebrating 20 years graduating in June.
Mm-hmm.
So they was married for almost 20 years. So they've been dating for almost 25. They have their issues as anybody does. But if he was to come home and meet him in bed with another man or vice versa, I think they would both be like baffled, like, what? When did this happen? You understand what I'm saying? Now, that don't mean that the intent wasn't always there. But because of what we've built, I didn't expect this from you. This guy came home and met his wife in bed with another man. He even ain't flipping out. What he did, he took out the man's pants, opened his wallet. The man had $1 in his wallet. $1 single.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy, listen to me. The
But
man
that's
had,
all you got. I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's
gotta
it.
try and fluff it.
But he put $1 in his wallet. The man put it back. They were so caught up, they didn't even notice this man standing there going through this man's pants. And he went, he sat back at the table. When they finished, they came upstairs. He saw them. He told him, he said, boy, you could go. He said, I don't know quite with you. You could leave. He said, under the wife. So, of course, she's trying to figure out what the hell is this man gonna, kill me in my sleep? Like, what's going on? He ain't nothing. Of course, he started having sex with her after that, but nothing. Every time during dinner, he took $1 out of his wallet, balled it up, and threw it at her. And that went on for about 4 months before she committed suicide. And the kids didn't understand why, but she did. Because you have devalued yourself to that. We have built what we have built. We've done everything together. And even if you're going to cheat, I can't stop you from doing that. But you're going to cheat with someone that I won't even hire to rake the yard?
But here's my thing, and that's
Remember,
what
hold on.
I
Remember,
get what you're saying.
One minute, what I'm going to bring to you. Remember when the lady wrote in about her being the big time boss person at this
And then he
thing,
slept
and he
with
slept
the
with
janitress.
The thing was, buddy, really, like, out of everyone that you could have gone with, if you're gonna mess up with someone's gonna keep you.
I get what you're saying, but at the same token, that's one of the things that is a problem. I don't know. To me, it should be what it is across the board, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just agreed with that, regardless of the title, regardless. That's what it should be. We often hear when people say things like, my God, at least if you're going to do it, upgrade. What?
No,
I'm not you. I'm just saying generally. Right now, a lot of the stories that we hear wouldn't be as big as they are if the people who were guilty in the affairs and the cheating weren't who they are. The whole thing, remember with Monica Lewinsky, right? Here it is, the president of the United States. He's with his wife, a woman that has a career in politics herself, quite the respectable. She comes from a great family. She's educated and all of that. Here is Miss Fluff. And this is a woman that will do sexual favors with you in the Oval Room or wherever.
Yes,
wherever.
Mr. President.
Understand what I'm saying? So a lot of them are saying, okay, not only did you have the unmitigated gall to cheat, you did it and the
Oval-
presidency in the Oval Office in the White House.
I think it's
But
just
look with who?
convenience.
Look with who? No, had it been a leader of another nation or something like that, I guarantee you the way that the tale was told would have been different.
No.
I
See,
think that is also
no.
something that adds to the BS in our culture.
If the tail if it was the leader of another country, he'd have still been a hooker who had
You know exactly where I'm coming
no,
from.
but my thing is this: if Hillary was doing it in the Oval Office, then it would have been straight.
How you figure that?
Yeah.
No, but she would have get berated. Here it is.
How?
You have a man that is a leader of nations.
I'm
and
saying,
you here
no, I'm saying
with,
if Hillary,
with the little limo driver.
I'm saying,
Come,
if,
give me a
you know
break.
what I'm
We
saying?
got a call on.
Hey, we ain't do that again.
Respect
I said
the caller. Pat Peeve Day. Love Jones. Good day. Thank you for calling in. What you got to say?
If Hillary
Candy,
would give,
talking
Candy,
foolish.
if Hillary would give the president,
What happened? The caller, sir.
Dervin. Candy, you got something nearby you can voice Dervin with?
A couple things, but see, I on camera and I
No,
cannot
hey,
go to
no,
jail.
hey,
You know,
camera,
Durban
turn
Petty
off for a minute.
and the police
Listen,
station
man,
right down
listen,
there.
see,
I know a
see,
couple people.
This foolishness about, yeah, I understand to a degree, you know, trying to step the game up and all that stuff like that, right? But by when human emotion get into play and you have somebody who catering to you and your feelings and everything like that, you could be the poorest person on the street or the richest person on in the world. When you have that connection with somebody, you know, you can't say, oh, she's a janitor or whatever. No, you can't say that.
Pat.
Yo.
Pat. Soldier. Daya.
Yeah, not today.
Medea. Stop talking skulldug. If you are in a relationship with a woman,
right,
you should not put yourself in a situation to be emotionally attached to another person.
Understood.
Hold on. So for you to talk about, oh, well, emotions make you cry sometimes. H-Town. What you do is you not put yourself, because you've already obligated yourself to somebody.
I get what you're saying,
Dervin,
but I think
understood.
the issue here is, like, for a woman, let me tell you how women go, honestly. Right? I'm not saying that it won't hurt to find out that my man is cheating all across the board, right? But for a woman, that's the way the women are. I want to check your specs, and that's why a lot of times they'll be like, let me see a picture, who this person is. Now, if I know that I'm a boss chick, right? I work I doing certain things, I have a certain reputation, and then you link me with whoever it is that you've been dealing with. Here's someone that living, forgive I, the clapboard house. It leaning to the side because the satellite too heavy, right? She have a bike. She have a bike. No, she have a bicycle lean up to the side.
Okay.
That she's go to the corner store with, and she's eat pepper chip and drink soda. And here it is. And here it is. I am serving you filet mignon and shrimp.
Wait, you
I
gotta back
can
up.
feel some kind of way about that. Not just because of that. I can be like, so all of this, and you eating pepper chip?
Hold on. See, my problem with that is,
Pat, you understand where I'm coming from?
I totally understand.
Hold on.
I'm not saying that it shouldn't matter. It is the fact that he has been with someone else, which should be your greatest concern. But I think people take a lot in when it comes to titles and who people are as to whether the cheating is better to deal with or
I don't think
lesser
that's
to
what it
deal
is.
with
I
emotionally.
think
It's true.
it's the same thing what you just said. I think for a lot of women.
Okay, I don't think I call him back no more today.
That's good. Thanks. 'Cause you
Oh,
wanna
he
just
gets
say
you feeling nice.
that. I think what it is for the same what you said with a lot of women, it's kind of an attack to their ego.
Yeah.
If I'm like you say a boss chick and I'm doing all these things and I'm this that in their mind it's like, boy, do not go there and make me look like less than because you decided to go with the girl in the clapboard house. Don't do that. If you're gonna step out on me with someone of my level or better, because then when people talk about it, that's what they look at.
It makes you, and so let's get to the core then. Is it really about what happened with the cheating,
It's about how
or
it makes
is
you
how
look.
it makes you look? It makes you look lesser than, because if
That's what-
I have
that's
all
what
of
it is
these
for
things
women.
going on, and his preference was still to be with someone that is in a far less state, quote unquote, in life. Which, and we should never judge people, but at the same token, it is what it is. What we're talking about right now. So if he deals with someone that is in a lesser state in life, that is in this smoky club, taking her clothes off, a couple of bills to be thrown at her, And here I am living in a penthouse. Here I am. I'm acting in movies. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And that is your preference. It makes you feel even lesser than and further degraded as a person.
But that's women.
If the
Because a
person-
man,
they don't care.
but a man, all I know is someone that's driving my car. I want to fight.
That's it.
I don't care I don't care.
No, man. It can't
Who?
be it can't be single cellular like that.
Single, one cell. Just like
Hey,
that.
do you agree with that? Single cellular?
If I as a man and I as a
That's
man,
that's what I gotta call it. You don't care who to do this. It's that generally meant
If
they don't care who it is,
It's
what
a
the
problem.
connect was,
No,
nothing.
no.
It's just that a woman has had sex with someone else.
if it's
That's
just that
it.
you stepped out on me. If I'm a
Wow.
man and I'm the CEO of a Fortune 500 company and I find out my wife is cheating with the gardener, I don't care to do to the gardener. I care that you cheating with my wife. I want to fight. That's it. Your status.
The only upside is if it's a millionaire, you could make her get him buy you stuff and then leave her.
Nate is be on a different level. I just can't deal with him. Seriously. I don't know. I just think it's super interesting the way that men and women look at fidelity. I think it's interesting how we account for the sexual aspects of it versus the emotional. It's just so interesting, the comparisons of, and I think it's interesting to see who's held at what level of accountability, what kind of feelings are taken into consideration as to what the status is of the person. It is more of an assault than something other than. So I just think it was just something interesting to consider, but it's definitely a big pet peeve that we've been talking about. Obviously, it's taken many other branches,
But I mean,
like the things that we talk about often do.
look at it like this: if you were married and your husband stepped out on you with someone of what you would consider to be less of a under your level, you can be in your feelings. I mean, you can be in your feelings because he stepped out, but it's like, buddy, look, like really.
And I'll admit that as women, you often want to know. As women, listen, if you find out that you do the cheating or you've been through the phone or whatever, one of the first things that women
I
look
wanna
for is
see
a
that.
picture.
Let me see this.
I can tell you right now, they look for a picture. And they do the comparison. I don't know why that is. They want to know, is she thicker than I am? Is she smaller than I are? What her measurements are?
Really?
Yeah, women go deep. They want to know where was the first place that y'all went, what was the significance of when y'all went out, how long y'all been chatting. We want to know all that. Of course it is.
So am I not irrelevant?
Let me tell you why it's relevant to a woman. A lot of those details or the lack thereof will mean the difference between whether this relationship has any possibilities of survival or if it's a done deal.
You mean okay? All right.
That's what this, whether a woman is going to admit that to you or not, that's the significance to all of these details. You know, what was it that you guys actually had? What period were you doing? Did you guys go out together? What were the things that you conversed about? What does she look like? When does she work? It depends on the woman that you're dealing with. But those statistics, those stats, and who she is and what she looks like and all of that, oh, it matters. If women can justify and why she ain't holding no gal into me, must he was going through a little something. But if they have deemed this woman to be looking better, eyelashes, yeah, a viable source of competition, oh, it's about to be a problem. I'm just saying, whether they can admit it or not, this is real talk, and we gotta be honest about it. What you saying?
Based on that logic, would it be fair to say that a woman would take that and understand and accept that due to my point earlier about, oh, that's just flesh, or that's the male jumping on flesh type thing, and to add to that, how do we rate the rate of who stays? It's usually the women staying during various things and men not staying when that happens. Can we can we scale that in any way to say that when a woman doesn't and men rarely stay because of when they do it, it's a like I said, a premeditated thing, and then a lot of women do stay when they assess how you just assessed, because it's a less. I mean, not the less in it, but it's like
it's a less threat that he would ever walk away from your situation. Of course, I mean, like I said, a lot of women will never admit to it, but the fact of the matter is that's just a part of the assessment. A lot of times, that's it. Is she really a viable threat to my relationship in regards to, yes, he may have slept with her, but is she enough to make him possibly want to walk away or think of something outside of what could be possessed outside of our relationship?
So
that's number one.
Isn't the issue then?
And infidelity is the issue. At least, see, it depends. For some women, they don't care who it is, what you look like, whatever, that's a done. Depending on what their experiences have been before, or how bad or how big of a hot button infidelity is for them. It doesn't matter. She could be Princess Diana. It would not matter. The fact of the matter is I can't deal with that. For some women, they actually separate. Was it a matter of illogical thinking, a bad decision? Were you drinking? What was going on? Was it a matter that we were going through, we weren't having sex, and you just bowed to flesh? Some women will actually separate. Now, a lot of times, once you've told a woman that you have had an emotional affair, that's when the game is changed. When you say, I had feelings for this other woman, I think I was in love with this. Oh, no, I can't prove that. Because, no. See, because you could possibly say no to flesh, but once your heart now is beckoning to somebody else, now that's a problem, because now you have the possibility of not just sex, but you intertwine that with the emotions of a man. That's a problem. I can't deal with that. I think most women, if they are going to forgive, they are more likely to forgive if it was simply something, and I wouldn't say simply as to say it's no big deal, if they deem it as just a fling, or it's just something that was flesh and it was nothing more. But once they feel as if you have become emotionally involved, you spend time with her, you spend time with friends, family, that kind of thing, I think a lot of women are less likely to forgive something of that sort. Not only that, for you to be able to give that kind of time and attention to another woman, y'all were in a full-fledged relationship. It wasn't just calls to get together and to link up on a sex type thing. For most men, if you tell most men, and I did the survey before, remember, where most men, I think it was like 80%, 85% of the men that were asked said if their wife or their girlfriend or their committed partner was just talking to another man and had become emotionally involved, but there was no physical contact, they could deal with that. They'll take her back. If there was any kind of sex involved, no. And they were cold cut with that. No. So and they kept asking, so she ain't sleep with him, right? I was like, can I finish? No. I only thing I need to know, did they have sex? No. Okay. All right, but then I could work that. Because we could go on dates and we could build and we could do the things that what she's saying that was lacking. But once she's gone outside of that realm and accepting another man into herself, in her bed, in that, no. Done. That's just...
What? What's just fun?
I mean, I'm not looking for any kind of... It's just interesting to me because... To me, infidelity is infidelity, whether it's emotional, whether it's financial, whether it's physical.
But I think for
is it that people think that you could come back from it if it hasn't reached sex yet?
I think so. I think for a lot of men, the rationale behind it is, see, because men, like I said, are egotistical creatures. So the thing is, if she had sex, you're trying to figure out if this dude is better in bed than me, and if she can be urinating this dude and all these other things.
Is she thinking of him when we're together?
And be together. But yeah, I'm not running. Come from me. That's the attitude.
You need to stop.
I say
I just want to publicly say that I'm trying to stop it.
I say that's their attitude. That's their mindset. That's what they can be saying.
I get it. I'm just trying to. I'm not saying that it's going to cease and desist, but I think if we understand the rationale behind the way that we think as people, or the way that men or women are wired, I think it will be assistive to when we do come across these situations. I think it assists in the way that we communicate and handle it thereafter.
I hear what you said, and this is a point that a lot of women need to look at. When you said for a woman, if a man is emotionally vested into another woman, for her that's a problem.
Indeed.
Because in her mind, because she is an emotional creature, it's not that he wouldn't be able to detach himself, but the other woman wouldn't be able to detach herself. And so that will be a continuous problem in the relationship.
I think that's a part of it. I can partially agree with that, but I think the other part to that is if you go out the way that people typically see men, I don't think people typically see men as emotional creatures.
And so
they have emotions, but not typically emotion.
No.
That's not the thing that drives them. So for a woman to be in a relationship with a man and know that he is emotionally invested, that's a big deal, because if you see him as not someone that is driven by emotion, and yet you have found out, or he is telling you that he has made a choice or he has fallen for someone else, not saying that he has no more feelings left for you, but he has engaged this woman in a way where he feels attached to her. That there's a place in his heart for her that changes the game for a woman. I think for a man, if you say emotional, if men solidify in their mind that women are emotional, so far to say I have an emotional connect with this man, that's typical to who she is as a nurturer, as an emotional person. But to say that women aren't as sexually driven as men, which is typically what is seen by society, to say that she has had sex in a man's mind, okay, now we got a problem, because okay, emotionally, she's driven, and plus she scaled the fence and slept with him. So he have the full package now. Mm-hmm. He got my woman lock, stock, and box. What I no sense of me hanging around the joint.
Nope. But when I see him, I still gonna fight.
Yeah, well, I know you. That's your ego having this problem.
When I see, and I can tell when I see him,
it's going to be a problem.
We get a problem.
But why though? We talked about this earlier this week. You're supposed to deal with her. He don't have no commitment.
You watch National Geographic? I got National Insurance.
I wonder. I've seen it where the bucks, the rams,
the lions, all of them, buddy.
So for you, the fighting is to regain your dominance. Is that what it is?
It's to regain my dominance. It's to release this pressure, the aggravation, the anger. You take my thing.
So it's just for you to feel better.
That's it.
Basically
that's
what it
all it is.
So you being a rugrat.
That's it. I can whoop your head.
Okay.
Just because.
I'm glad you admitted it.
Yeah, life rough. Don't worry about that.
I'm glad you admitted it.
Because that's what it boils down to in the animal kingdom. When lions come, the lion come and he like, boss, hey, what you say, man? I like all these guys.
Yeah.
I like them. So what we can do, right? We can fight.
And if I win, you have to walk away.
Push up, push up.
And I can take.
I can take over. And the next line's like, all right, cool, let's do it.
If you could win,
right? If you could, then.
It was the saying I used to have. If you could beat me rocking, you could have my jail. Put that in your bag.
I like that.
You like that, right? Well, that used to be I used to tell you. I see you looking at the cookie little sideways. I say, baby, if you could beat me rocking, you could have my jail. I that confident in my wife.
My God. My God. I had to bring back the old just now. But that's what it is. Like the reality of it is, people will say, well, oh, that's the, but look at it. A man will literally meet his wife with another man, and he can fight, and he can still tell her, but now you could have him because I've already proven my point.
Yeah, I want to show you
that
I'm still, regardless of what you thought, I'm still the alpha male.
Right.
These things that we call emotions and the way that we conduct ourselves. We're supposed to be so far beyond the scope of these things of simplicity, but at the end of the day, it's what drives us. You know what I mean? It is what motivates us. It is the things that keep us going, whether it's in a productive way or not in our relationships. So, I think a lot of what we've said today is absolutely food for thought. A lot of times we remove ourselves from these celebrity issues. And I think for them, it's seen in a different scale because everybody knows your business.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is speculating. Everybody has something to say. But on the smallest scale of things, I think we go through these things through different situations in our own lives all the time.
Every day.
Yeah. So
a lot of fellas get catch in the strip club, getting the stripper pregnant before Camilla Anthony.
Yeah, and sad to say, there's probably many more to come after.
Some probably get catch at the same time you get catch too.
Yeah.
Some getting catch right now, actually. At 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it's early enough. But like I said, whether she's a stripper, whether she's a businesswoman, whatever it is, I think as women and as people, to be honest, we have to take less stock into the title so and so that these people have, and look more into how did we get to the place where we're at.
That's not going to change. People forever. People are going to forever be comparing themselves and saying, "Oh, well, he could have done better, or she could have done better, or if he was going to do it, he could at least did it with someone who was on my level
or better."
Why
so
he
sad.
like they say, "Oh, so you downgrade." Like maybe financially I did, but she's just just off of that statement alone.
And I
she's
think
a better
that
person.
was Pat's point. I think Pat's point was, yeah, she may not have the house and the car that you have. She may not have the job or the education that you possess, but the connection that we have together and the communication that we have, the fun that we have together, it far outweighs those things on a monetary basis that you have.
But how do you get to that point?
But see, some people lose themselves. And like, I think that might have been the case. And some people are saying that's what happened with the situation with Lala. We're not justifying what he did. But she was so caught up in now being this different kind of woman. I've made it out of my hood. Now I'm acting. My face is known all over. I am that chick.
And the thing is,
so now the things that I may have had to do as a wife,
I don't have to anymore.
I don't have to anymore because I've arrived in my own sense.
And the strange thing about it is, not you said, not condoning what he did.
But it is what it is.
Mello appears to be a very humble, kind of inside person. He's even appeared on a few little roles here and there, some stuff on cable, some stuff in movies, and he's never really taken the lead role to like pull attention to himself. It's like, hey, yeah, here. Like when you're gonna write the check, I ready to go now. Like that's his whole demeanor. Like, buddy, I like basketball. That's what, let me go on the court. My manager said I could do this. I could get an extra $100,000 for show on my face. I can do that. But this ain't my thing. I ain't into the spotlight like that.
At the same token, I've heard of him making statements such as, "Lala's the one that's married. I'm not." Yeah, and it's that. As we wrap up for the day,
I was just trying to defend my dog.
I know.
Why?
It's okay. It's okay. Couldn't let you get that one. I need that little rebound. That's going to do it for Love Jones. It's been Pet Peeve Day, and we have been focusing on the different attitudes and ways and movements of emotion versus logical,
every time
as well as men and women. Every time you just thought you had a sex snatch the ball. Boy, I just tell you, give me this wrong. We're gone. But you can continue the conversation as well as weigh in as to what your pet peeve is as to men, women, relationships, and the way that we go about things and how it can better or bring destruction into the very things that we hold at our core, and that is meaningful relationships. We're gone. You can continue at 812-1787, 431-8497, as well as on our Facebook page. Become a friend to Global 99.5 FM, as well as Love Jones crew. We'll be back tomorrow for a scintillating conversation on the things that happen within your bedroom and how to possibly keep the fire going in a long-term relationship after time is gone. We're gone, but you keep it right where you've got it. We've got lots more great music on the best mix of R&B music, home of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. We're Global 99.5.
Wiggling!